Okay, so I'm just going to do 6 example solves. First scramble. So here, I noticed that the red cross piece and the green cross piece are already with their centres. So what I can now do is, if I solve this orange right one with L2, that puts it with its centre as well. So I can then F prime keeps these two where they are. L prime solves that one. B2 solves the red one, and that just leaves me with this blue cross piece here. This pair you can see before we've even inserted the last cross piece. So we can break those two apart with U prime L prime and insert at the back. And before I insert it, I see these two here. So I can then go straight into solving that next pair. And as well, as I start this next pair, I can see these two, so I can then track these two. So they're here and here. I can then pair them up at the back, insert them here. I can see the last corner piece here, and even if I couldn't, I knew it wasn't any of these four, so it'd have to be there. So I can insert the double sexy. OCLL, PLL, no AUF. Second scramble. So here, this is an easy scramble because I've got the reds and oranges together already. I can put the blues with its centre like that. And then M prime solves orange and red. U2 solves the white blue edge. The last cross piece is here, so I can insert that with R, B prime, R prime. This is the first pair, red blue, so I can set it up like that. And before I insert it, I see the orange blue pair here. And because the edge is already solved, I can insert this with keyhole. So what I do is I do a D prime, and that just means the corner has to be inserted here instead of here. So I can insert it like that without disturbing this corner here. So I then do a U wide, or I could have done a D move if I wanted to, but I noticed the next two pairs are here, so I can do a U wide, and that will pair up these two and set me up for the next pair. The next pair is these two here, so I can just insert this with triple sexy. Soon for OLL. PLL here is going to be a T-perm, but because it's a U2 as the AUF, you can actually end it slightly differently. And instead of here doing a U prime, you do a U, and then an F prime, and then insert the pair, and that should solve it, without you having to AUF at the end. This is the next scramble. We've got this cross piece here and this cross piece here, and they should be quite easy to solve. So if I do R prime, I compare these two up. But then if I do an F2, this will actually be in the wrong place, so I have to do a D2, then an F2 to insert this cross piece. Last one's here, but also notice I have this pair here, so I do a U, just so I can then preserve this pair. I then insert this last cross piece, D2, and it should give me that, which I can insert. This is the next pair, so I can do L, U2, L prime, and then oops, I have this pair here, which I can then solve with L prime UL, insert at the back. This and this goes here, so double sexy. I can do OLCP, because I can see that the corners are diagonally swapped. So if I do that to permute the corners, and then here, I can just do something 2 again to orient last layer, then permute it. Next scramble. Okay, so here I notice that I have the orange one here, and that can be solved or put with its centre with an F move. And this here is already solved. But instead what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put these two opposite each other first. So I'm going to move this out of place but keep it in the R layer. So if I do an F move here, that just preserves this cross piece. I can then start doing an R2, because that will put this on the D layer, but as you can see it's going to be permuted correctly, so I'll start doing one R, then I'll do a D move, so that then the blue is opposite the green edge when I do the other R. D then puts the blue and green in place, R2 L, then solves across. And for the L, I saw this pair here, so I can insert that with R prime UR, and then this pair here, I can insert. But before doing this pair, even though that would be an easy case, it doesn't give me a very nice case here. So what I can actually do instead is solve this pair with keyhole, because I know that that won't break apart this pair. So do a D prime, that will then give me an sort of corner here, which I can then use to insert this edge efficiently. And then I have this pair here, which I can then insert normally. OLL, now here I notice that these two are the same colour, and these two are opposite colours, which means that this will be quantity muted, and it gives me U firm. Fifth scramble. Okay, so here I have these, the greens here. Again, this is just an F prime away, but obviously I have to do an F move of some sorts, sorry, an L move of some sorts first, so that I can then put this here without disturbing the green. But the first thing I'm going to do is actually a B2, so that I can then put the reds together. The red piece solved, sorry. Now, instead of just doing an L move, I'll do a U prime, so that I can then put the orange with its centre. F prime, R prime, solve the blue, and then I can solve that piece quite easily. Now here I can't actually see anything, because as you can see in this kind of front area here, there's no white pieces, so I'll probably actually do an X prime and look for a pair, and I see the orange-green pair here. So I can put them there, and then to do that I notice this pair here, so I can then set it up like that. These two here, I've actually noticed this pair as I was inserting or doing the last few moves. So I can set it up like that, and then as I do this, I notice that I'll actually set up this pair. So I could insert these with F moves, so then I wouldn't have to rotate twice. But in a solve, I would usually do that, and then rotate again to solve this pair. OLL, easy OLL. Now for this Y perm, I could do the regular Y perm, and then U2. But instead, what I could do as well, do a U2, and then an alternate algorithm for the PLL where the single corner is in the back. So I like that algorithm. Final scramble. So here, I noticed I've got a pair here which could be quite useful. These two are in place as well, but I probably won't try preserving both of those two because that will be too inefficient. Also, this blue-white piece is in a really annoying place, so I'm actually going to ignore it and just solve the green, orange and red cross pieces. So the first thing I'm going to do is a DL, because what that does is it moves these two so that they're opposite each other in the D layer, just like they would be in the cross. I can then do another D move to put them with their centres and effectively solve them. Instead of just doing an L move here to solve the green piece, if I actually do a U, I can insert this pair that we had from earlier, and then I do the L move. And that should give me an X cross after I solve this one. But actually, before I solve this one, I notice these two here, and I can keyhole these in, same technique as before. Do a D move or a UI move, insert the pair, and then another D move. Now here, I actually have the cross piece in the front, which is good because it's a lot easier to fix it when it's here. Now, here what I'm going to do is, if I do R wide U, R wide prime, that takes it out of the front layer and preserves this pair. So I can then do a U prime to fix it with the centre, and R wide U2, R wide prime. That solves the XX cross. I also have this corner here with this edge here. Once again, I can use keyhole for that. The last pair is here and here, so I've used double sexy. I don't know this OLL, but I can see the straight line here, so I can then orient the edges. And instead of just orienting the corners, I can see these two are the same, these two are opposite, so it's 2gen. I know this 2gen last layer. Start with the back zoom, and then here, usually I do U prime and then an anti-zoom from the back, but because I can see this pair is red, if I do a U move, I can then do a left anti-zoom, and that will skip AUF at the end. And that should solve it.